Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Today I'm reviewing one of the cigars from the new Perdomo Special Craft series. And this is from the Amber selection. And this is the Epicure 6.5 by 54. And before we go any further, there's the density of the cigar. Now this is Amber series is designed to be paired well with certain beers. I'm not a big beer drinker, so I'm going to describe the cigar for you and let you decide if it'll pair well with your type of beer. It's designed to go with ambers, IPAs, lagers, pale ales, and Oktoberfests. Now the blend for this cigar, it's all Nicaraguan, but the wrapper for the Amber series is a sun-grown from Jalapa, binders from Condega, and the fillers from Esteli. Again, this is the Epicure 6.5 by 54. So let's get right to it. One of the largest bands you will see on a cigar. So what I'm going to do actually is just slide this off and unfurl it later for you to see the whole thing. Now, that's what you're left with. Pretty nice looking cigar, actually. It's no secret that I like Perdomo's cigars. I like the sun-grown version. That's why I chose this to start with. They also have a Connecticut version and a Maduro version, obviously to go with lighter and darker beers. Boy, I can get a lot of different flavors here at the beginning. I can definitely taste almost a sweet pink grapefruit citrus. I can taste sweet boysenberry notes, leather, cream. The leather is a very light leather, but it's very new, fresh type leather taste. And a very light black pepper. I almost want to call it a white pepper. There are different types of black pepper, and I'll call this a lighter black pepper. At about 7.5, 7.5. So those are the flavors you're initially met with. Let's see how it changes and where we go from here. About 1 inch in, and on that time you just saw, add about 2 to 3 minutes to that. I forgot to start the timer, but the flavors are what we want to talk about. And if you take all those flavors that I gave you previously, put them in a bowl and mix them up evenly, spoon them out and taste it, that's exactly what you have. If all those flavors are there, if your mind just went blank and you just tasted it, that mixture is exactly what I'm getting. So I'm satisfied with my assessment initially. So it is very sweet. The leather gives it depth, but it's, as I said, it's a fresh leather, so it's not like an old baseball mitt that's been sitting in the closet for 20 years. It's like a brand new baseball mitt. You know how you tie the string with your teeth? If you play baseball, you've done it. You know what I mean. And you have that flavor of that leather, and that's exactly what it is. Fresh, new leather. But it gives it a nice depth to those other sweeter flavors. So, burning very evenly. And what about that white ash? Huh? Look at that. But we're about 2 inches in now. And about 25 minutes. And remember, add a couple. The boysenberry notes sort of gone away, but the pink grapefruit flavor, which is what I'm going to stick with, is extremely sweet. There is cream there to give it a little bit of thickness or what have you, and the leather notes. There's also been the entrance of a few nutmeg flavors. So the front end flavors have changed slightly. I would call the cigar medium. Okay, it's not anything overpowering, but it does have very nice sweetness, and I love the leather depth that it gets. Typically, you'll get that with sun-grown wrappers, but that's where the leather is coming from. The finish is pretty much a sweet cream, and it is very sweet. Has some nice lingering pepper. And so that's about it. 2 inches in, going along nicely. Nice sweet flavors with a nice leather undertone. I got about 2.5 inches remaining. And the flavors on the front end, which I've been calling pink grapefruit, now are starting to sort of change and go away from that. There is sort of a cherry-like flavor mixed as the lead flavor, which is sort of now more getting away from citrus and getting more toward just a cedar. The question I have, because those flavors are seem questionable in my mind, is that the leather has come so far forward. It is much more prominent now. There is still some cream there to sort of mellow out and smooth out all the front end flavors. There's a little bit, the nutmeg is still there too, I didn't mention that. The nutmeg is also filtered over to the finish, combining with the cream somewhat. The cigar is medium to full bodied. So that's about the changes at this point. Very good. Just making a few flavor changes here, but the leather is the big note that it has really jumped forward. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. The cherry notes continued. You've got a leathery cherry with cream notes. That's about what you have here. You don't really have the cedar by and large, and there's a few floating notes of nutmeg. You really get the nutmeg for the most part on the finish, combining with cream, sweet, lingering pepper. The pepper actually seems to have ticked up a tad. It has a little more pronounced black pepper flavor on the front end, and the cigar is definitely medium to full body. Upper end of medium to full body. I wish I could tell you this pairs excellently with the beers that it's supposed to pair with, but I simply don't know. But I can tell you this, if you're not a big beer drinker like me, the cigar stands alone as a good cigar on its own. So it's not necessary that you pair it with beer, but I'm sure you beer drinkers will write and tell me how it pairs with those different beers that I described it's supposed to go with. I'm judging the cigar on the cigar's merits alone, and I can tell you it's a very flavorful cigar, very good. Had several major changes from the beginning to now. It's actually very different, and I like that. I like changes in a cigar. All in all, for me, I'm rating it a 92. I enjoyed it. It has the typical sun-grown leather notes, but the sweeter flavors made drastic changes, and I like that. So there you have it, the Perdomo Special Craft Series, the sun-grown version, the Epicure 6.5 by 54, 92, and available now at your local shop.